Thank you, Marco. Hello, everybody. Wonderful to be with you today. My name is Aaron Watson. I run business and corporate development for Clicktail. I'm joined today by Dr. Liraz Margalit, who is our chief psychologist at Clicktail. We're here to talk to you today about combining cognitive science and big data in order to understand customer behavior, understand exactly what customers are experiencing for a business. A little bit about Clicktail is we are an experience analytics platform. We put our customers in the shoes of their customers, both at the aggregate level as well as an individual level. We do this through powerful visualizations that are consumable by executives, by analysts, by line of business owners. These visualizations range from overlay heat maps that overlay on top of a digital asset to really highlight the behavioral intersections such as mouse movements, hovers, clicks, scrolls, taps, zooms, etc., all the way down to session replays, so that once an issue is organized, a company can segment and drill down into some example sessions of exactly what a visitor experienced when they interacted with that digital asset. Here's an example of the types of customers that we provide our experience analytics platform to. We function on a SaaS model. We focus on the Global 2000, and we have hundreds of the world's largest enterprises as our customers. As a SaaS company in experience analytics, we're pleased to be growing very nicely. We've just grown over 60% this past quarter as compared to the quarter a year prior. We're constantly increasing our overall deal size and ACV size. We're about 82% larger in our enterprise deal size than we were years ago, and we're increasing our MRR by about 50%, and look forward to continuing to grow our performance. As we all know, we are all in the experience business, all of us. The experience wave is the next great wave to hit business to change how we interact. All of the analysts, all of us who are in the industry understand that what's at risk is revenue. If we don't focus on the customer experience, what's at risk is revenue. What's at risk is success. So it's extremely important to understand what the customer is experiencing. But for all of us, it's easy to understand why customer experience is so crucial. It's easy to understand why understanding that customer experience will drive the business better. What's hard is knowing exactly what that experience is. And that's where Clicktail comes in. To understand the what, you first have to understand the behavior, but more importantly, what's the mindset? What's going through the heads of the visitors as they interact with the digital property? Big data in and of itself is not the answer. All of us collect hordes and hordes of data. It can be extremely helpful, of course. But combining big data with psychological expertise is really where we start to understand the true customer experience, the true customer interaction. So taking a layer of psychological analytics, applying it to big data, and creating a model is what then allows us to next apply machine learning. Once we've applied machine learning to that model, we can re-inform that psychological analytics layer and get through the cycle of updating and enriching the features, updating and enriching, so that we get more and more and more granular in understanding the actual mindset of visitors as they interact with the digital asset. To talk a little bit more about how we do this for our customers, Dr. Liraz Margalit.
Thank you, Aaron. So great to be here today. Now, after watching and observing many users' interactions, we've noticed that there are some behavioral patterns that repeat themselves over and over again across different websites, different industries, different devices. And those behavioral patterns share similar meaning. And this is actually a user's way to communicate their intent with us. This is what we like to call the digital body language of our customers. I will give you an example. If a visitor scrolls slow or fast, if the visitors were inactive for some time, how many direction change, if a scroll followed by another scroll or a scroll followed by a click. And we know that face-to-face interactions are based almost entirely on non-verbal signals. So these are the non-verbal signals in the digital world. So in order to capture those experiences, we have developed 5 different models, 5 different algorithms for each behavioral pattern. And in order for us to validate those models, we've run those models on millions of entirely new interactions. And we found that we can automatically detect the visitor's intent as they land on our website in an accuracy level of 85%. So this is pretty exciting. Now, these are the mindset that you see here. So I'm not going to run through all the definitions here. I'm just going to give you a quick example. So the disoriented, for example, this is a visitor who knows exactly what he wants. He is highly motivated, but as he interacts with the page, he just can't find what he is looking for. We can clearly see him struggle through the interaction. But when we're talking about the focused mindset, for example, this visitor knows what he wants as well. But as opposed to the disoriented visitor, the focused visitor knows exactly how to achieve what he wants, and we can clearly see it through the interaction with the website. Now, after we already developed those different mindsets, those different models, we wanted to correlate those models with different site KPIs. And of course, with the ultimate site KPI, with conversion rate. So in this specific example, taken from an e-commerce website, we can see that the average conversion rate is about 2%. Now, if the dominant mindset, and by this I mean the most frequent mindset across different visits, so if the dominant mindset is the disoriented, then conversion rate is 65% lower than the average. But if the most dominant mindset is the focus, then conversion rate is 40% higher than the average. So if you think about it, that means that not only can we detect the visitor's mindset, the visitor intent, we can also understand the valence, the quality of the experience, if the experience was negative or was it positive. Now, we know that face-to-face interactions considered to be a dynamic process that is influenced by a feedback loop. So is the website interaction, and the website can affect the visitor mindset. For example, I can be focused, I can be goal-oriented, and then after interacting with the website, I can become disoriented. Now, this is an interaction taken from an e-commerce website as well. So we can clearly see that on the homepage, the visitor is focused. He knows exactly what he wants. He continues to a category page, and then he displays the exploring behavior, meaning that he is searching for something, but there is nothing there that attracts his attention. He continues to another category page, and then he displays the mindful mindset, meaning that he is extremely engaged, extremely involved, interacts with many elements, continues to the product page, and is still mindful. But as he reaches the checkout process, for some reason, he becomes disoriented, and he left the website altogether. So we have to start thinking of conversion as a process and not as a single action, and that's why we coined the term conversion cycle, because sometimes it takes few iterations for the visitor to convert. Sometimes a visitor can start his journey on the website and complete the purchase on the brick-and-mortar store. So we have to understand the quality of the experience, and investing in the quality of the experience is investing in a long-term relationship with our customers. Back to you, Aaron.
Thank you, Dr. Margalit. In conclusion, being able to connect the why experience is so important with what the actual behavior is how we provide customers like B&Q with massive lift in their business. We have a major online booking company who saw a lift of 54% in their bookings. A major financial services company saw a lift of 51% in form completions. It's really about answering everything about the digital behavior, knowing the experience, and driving it and connecting it to commercial success by understanding how you interact with your customers. Thank you very much.